Hello everyone, welcome back to Line Plans, welcome back to the channel. Today is one of my favorite videos to shoot actually. Today we're going to be not only swatching some fountain pen inks, but we're also going to be selecting some of the inks that I am going to be using for the remainder of September. So we get to kind of switch things up, which not only is exciting because, you know, hello, new inks, but it just kind of creates a change in the way that I kind of end up using most of my fountain pens. So if you want to see all the swatches and all the lineup of what I'm planning on using for the month of September with my fountain pen inks, you have come to the right place. So why don't we just kind of get started? And if you've never met me, my name is Meshi. I'm the person behind the Line Plans. We chat a few times a week here, and we're all about minimalist planning and journaling and planning and using stationery in a really intentional way where we're not diving into overconsumerism, but we're really trying to use this in a really therapeutic way. So if that's your jam and you love stationery, you have come to the right place, my friend, and consider subscribing if you haven't had a chance to just yet. Okay, so here's how we're kind of set up for today. I do have, just wait for it. I do have a huge bag of inks, and I would like to spend a moment to just swatching all of them for you. And I'm going to, after that, narrow it down to the ones that I'm planning on using for the month of September. And I will show you guys close-ups, and then I will show you which pen received which ink, and we will wrap it up. Sounds good? Sounds good. High five. Okay, why don't we just kind of get started? You will see we'll kind of go a little bit back and forth between overhead and, you know, talking to you in person, just because sometimes we need that personal touch. Okay, so for all the swatches, you will see the overhead camera so that you get like more of a close-up. I'm going to see if I can also give you guys at the very end, I will show you guys a close-up of the swatches in natural light. It is quite sunny outside right now, so I wanted you to kind of get that feel as well. But we do have actually natural light coming in, which is wonderful. We love that for us. So out of all these inks, so basically I had a moment this past month with Wonder Pens where I picked up a whole bunch of different brands that I've never really dove into, and some familiar ones, of course. So we do have some Sailors, some Pilots in here, and I picked up some Octopus fluids as well as some Esterbrook. So we have quite a selection, and I wanted to swatch them with you live again. I already swatched them when I received them just because I wanted to kind of have an idea of how the colors look, but I wanted to swatch them with you live so I can give you my first impressions all over again on camera. I know, we're being extra today. For tools, basically I have my little syringe. You're not going to see me use this on camera. And then I have my little nib pen. I'm actually going to be using this throughout the entire swatching because as much as I love the swatches that the watercolor brush creates, I find that it takes absolutely forever for it to dry, and this only deposits the proper amount of ink, which is really lovely, and I can just go right into just writing. So you're going to see this quite frequently here. Okay, let me pop you overhead, and I'm going to grab a glass of water so that I have somewhere to kind of dip things into, and we can get started. And actually, I should also just mention, just popping back for the last month, just quick little review. I mean, I did give you a little bit of an overview in my monthly favorites, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a lowdown of how things went for the month of August. And basically, I ran out of ink in a lot of my pens, which is, you know, quite impressive. So we had some Lennon Toolbars Mousse in Awe, and that was in my Pilot Pereira. That's this guy right here. So that's this guy right here. I completely ran out of this. So this actually is now completely empty. It needs to be cleaned out still, but as you can tell, the cartridge is completely empty. There is nothing left. We also have Nagasava Kobe. This is becoming like one of my favorite pens, actually. I had that in my Minty Sailor. So that's this guy right here. Again, we're completely out. Like there's literally nothing left. I tried using it a little bit, but there's nothing left here. So again, she's ready to be cleaned. Sun, Moon, Lake, and Ruby Tea. I did not care for this. I still have some left in my Peach Kaweco. I don't know, like I could not get into this color. I'm happy to be just, you know, just getting out of it. I would definitely consider this a fail. Elf from Diamond Blue Edition was an absolute win. My little worry about this color was the fact that it's going to be way too seasonal. It really wasn't. It was the most beautiful green you can imagine. Here's a little swatch in case you can see, but it was more writing like this lighter green, which is really stunning, especially moving into fall. It was definitely working for me. Then we had Classy Burgundy by Guitar Ink in my Yoseko Sailor collab. I ran out of that as well. Orchestra Tangerine is always a hit. Ran out of this as well. That was in my Mizutama collaboration. So that also worked out really well. And the only thing that's left is my Navy Kaweco Sport. I still have Steeped Umber. I've been using that for so long that I'm just ready to kind of use something different. So I'm kind of happy to just get right out of this. I don't know. Sometimes it just gets boring after a while. So I want something a little bit different. So let's just start a brand new page. We can just start right here and we will get set up. First, let's get started with just writing out. So this will be September. Now I'm going to grab some water and then we can get the swatching going. So the first one that I would like to swatch, this one is from Pilot Air Shizuku. It's CEO Row. Look how pretty that is. It's like a very beautiful, it reminds me of Tsukiyo actually, but it's almost like it's a little bit warmer. This is also from Pilot. This is called Shin Kai. Slightly different hue blue. This is more like a bluish green. So it's almost like, it's not turquoise, but it's like this bluish green. And you will see it right next to a blue. It will make sense. Next up, moving on to Sailor. This is from Sailor Manyo U. I really love this. It's just like this rustic. It just, to me, this looks like a really beautiful fall color without really going too heavy into like the October, like terracotta, like orangey tones. Okay, next up, this is from J. Herbin. It's called Vert Atlantide. Again, very beautiful. It's more like a cool toned green. It does feel a lot drier in comparison to like some of the Pilot colors or the Sailor color. So it's an interesting one. I would say that I would add this into something that can kind of run a little bit more freely. So it would be great in more like a medium nib rather than like a medium fine nib. Next one is from Esterbrook. This is called Ebony. So obviously it's going to be a black color. I don't have too many black colors, so it's kind of a nice switch up, you know, when I have like a variety of different blacks. I don't know why it's so runny, but in comparison to, like, look how much that runs and bleeds in comparison to like all of the other colors where I can just write. Okay, Kaweco Palms Green. When I saw this swatch, I was immediately in love with it. I'm not going to lie, I already have this inked up in one of my pens. As I said, like I ran out of ink, so I had to ink up some of them, but I might change it, and that's okay. So moving on to Sailor Shikiora's Yutsubame. But see, like this is already dry. Next up, we have Sailor Manyo's Ishii. This feels so much runnier than the J. Herbin one. So in comparison, like I think that this is going to be by far the driest ink of the whole bunch. This is the runniest one. And the colored ones, they are like really comparable, but the tonality between Kaweco and the Sailor, this one is more of a richer green, whereas this is more like a cool toned green, just in case you're like trying to compare them a little bit. Okay, next up we're moving into the octopus ink. So this one is called Violet B. Such a stunning color. And this is my first time ordering from Octopus. Like I never tried any of their inks. Staying with them, I think I have I have four different colors from Octopus. So let's do the next one. This is also from Octopus. This is called Brown Penguin. Hopefully I'll be able to fit all of them here on one page. Next up, this one is called Patrol Deer. It's such a pretty color. Like just look at this. Actually, let me make sure that you guys are in focus. Yeah. Next up, this one is Blue Sloth. But see how runny this is in comparison to, let's say, like the Sailor color. So I find that most of these Octopus Fluids colors, they're very, very runny. We have 3 left, so I'm going to give this a moment until everything dries. This one is already dry, and then from here down, everything is slightly wet. So once everything dries, we'll kind of make some decisions of what pen is going to receive which ink. So I will just kind of like at least line up the pen so that we have that like ready to go. I do like to like make notes about, you know, some of these things, only because, you know, when you have like, I don't know, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We have 12 inks currently that we have swatched. So I mean, you know, I'm not going to be using all of them within 1 month, so we can kind of carry some of that over to the next month. But I do like to kind of see like the color palette, because they do kind of carry a certain theme if you pay attention. So like the Pilot Irushizuku is going to be really similar. Like here, these two are going to be very similar in tonality. The 2 Sailors are going to be very similar. The 2 Kaweco and the Sailor Manyo is going to be very similar. It's nice to have a black in the mix, but black and brown, they kind of go together. So I would be probably putting them into the same type of pen, you know? So that's, I kind of like to look at it like that, but I do love a variety when we have some reds, we have some violet, and so I'm gonna be like choosing between these two for sure. I'm going to be probably choosing Pilot Dirigidu, because this always kind of catches my eye. I want to add one funky color, so maybe we're gonna go with the Violet Bee for sure, but let's add the other 3 swatches just so that we have the full picture, and then we can make our final decisions together. So we'll be right back. So this page is now fully dry, and we can just do our last 3 swatches. I think I'm just going to add it here, and then we'll do like a lineup of what we actually chosen. So next up we have Esther Brooks again with Cobalt Blue. So let's take a look. Another very, very beautiful blue, by the way. Next up, this is from Sailor Menu. This is called Kakitsubara. It almost looks like it could be a dupe for each other, but it really isn't. And last but not least, also from Sailor Manu, this is called Tsuyu. So now that we have all of our swatches, let's take a look and kind of make a decision of what's going to be happening with what. So let me make a full list of all the pens. I'm not going to add like little swatches right next to it because really I just want to be able to just add it into the pen. But the 2 that I'm not going to have to make a decision on is actually the Sailor Yoseka collaboration. This already has an ink in here. And same thing with my White Kaweco Sport. White Kaweco already actually has, ironically, it has the Kaweco Palm green in here. And I've been absolutely loving it, so I'm not planning on changing that. Let me double check. So this one already has Sailor Manu Kikutsaba in here, and for the time being I'm going to keep it in here because it works. It's a really nice, lovely, deep, rich purplish blue, so I don't think we really need to overcomplicate it with the Sailor pen. And then for the rest, let's take a look. I think I already pre-selected. We have Octopus Fluids Retro Deer. So I would like to go with for Retro Deer, Patrol Deer, not Retro Deer. For Patrol Deer, I would like to go with my Ferris Wheel Press in Fine Nib. I think that would be like a really nice combo. So let me just start writing it down. So we have Ferris Wheel Press, and we're gonna go with Octopus Fluids. It's not retro, is it? No, I keep saying retro, it's Patrol. So I think that would be really nice. Next, we also talked about, what else did we say? We also have Green Lamy and Pilot Irishizuku Sayo. So this color that I mentioned that I really, really love, this is already in Green Lamy. So Pilot Sia Row. Ooh, Peach Kaweco, so that's this guy right here. We can go with Octopus Fluids Violet Bee. Octopus. So we can set that aside. The Pilot pen can go into Esterbrook Cobalt Blue, so that will be this one. Yeah. So Pilot Pereira can go into Esterbrook Cobalt Blue, which I think is going to be like a really nice mix. So I'll do like a quick little swatch for you. And then the Navy Kaweco, which is this one that is deconstructed right now, we can go with Shinkai. Here. So this can be Navy Kaweco. So this Pilot. And I feel like we're missing mint tea. Yeah, so I was gonna go with Sailor Manyo's You. Yeah, this. So we can go with mint tea. So Sailor mint tea edition, you know what I mean. It will get Sailor Manyo, You. And I think that concludes it, because in that way we have like a fun color in there. We have some of these like turquoise bluish greens, which I think looks really, really pretty. We definitely have Kaweco Palm Green. I was gonna go with the Ishii to add like another green in there somewhere. You know what? We'll be able to, because I took the ink out of the Mizutama collaboration. So we have between this, Tsuyu or Ishii. I think we should go with Ishii. Yeah. As much as I love Sailor Manyo's, but it's just like, I feel like I have colors that are similar to that. So let's go with this. So we're gonna make Mizutama. So let me just write it out here. So Mizutama, Sailor collab. We'll get Sailor Manyo's Ishii. Perfect. I will do swatches once everything's inked up, so let's get going. All right, you guys, this is basically all I wanted to share with you. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did, you can obviously support the channel by giving it a thumbs up, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, doing all the things. And I would love to know, here's your question of the day. Now that we've talked all about inks and swatches, what is like your favorite ink that you love using for the current month? I have to say so far, and I haven't inked up everything just yet, so I can't quite like say it just yet, but so far I've been really, really loving the Kaweco Sports. Like I've been really loving this pen, the white Kaweco Sport, and having the green Kaweco color in there. So that has been working really well so far. But then again, it's very early and we're just inking up everything. But please tell me, what is one ink that you have inked up for the month of September that you have been loving so far? Comment below, let me know. And in the meanwhile, if you have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. And I just keep planning, keep journaling, keep playing with inks, keep swatching, doing all the things. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video.